Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Kerry Ann, if you've not been here before. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I'm all into the spiritual stuff, but this is going to be the second stage video. So if you've watched the first stage, you can look in the description box for the first. So I want to touch on the power of journaling, right? And how it can benefit you from, like, when you're when you've had a reading. Say for instance, you came on one of my lives and you had a mini reading, how you can journal that and how you can, and what the benefits with the journaling is going to be. Right, so we're going to talk, so we're going to have a discussion about the power of the journal. I got my notes, right? Bear in mind, right, I need my notes to keep me going because dyslexia, fog brain, old middle-aged woman, it's all there in the making. What is the power of journaling? Right, so you've gone, I've done my reading, so these, with Eric. I had a reading with my spirit guide, right? And I picked my cards out and what I did was record. So I recorded the reading and that was my first expression of the cards. But when you do the journaling, you can go a bit deeper into the card. Yeah. So you can dig deeper. So what came up in the card? What came up in your reading, for instance, if you've had a reading? What was the key points that it was like, oh, I could take that. Oh, actually, that really, those are the key points that you need to address. So from that, you can do journal prompts from that. Why did I feel this way? I done journal prompts on the Chariot. So, so all those elements is going to help deepen your connection with your reading, and it's going to help with self-development as well. So it's going to you're going to kind of know where you are at with just doing those general prompts. You could just do 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, whatever floats. This is why I always say it's so important to go back to your readings, or even jot things down, so you can look at it, because when you're in the moment you don't always see the bigger picture, because you're like focusing on what the people are saying or what you're saying. If you're a reader yourself and you do readings on yourself, like I do readings on myself, as well as doing it on here. And it's a good way to investigate the tarot card and the meaning behind the tarot card. And you can do your own little bit of research, especially if you know what the cards are. I mean, I've done the Crystal Vision cards. Not Crystal Vision. Oh, the Chakra Wisdom. Sorry, got that wrong, didn't I? So I done the chakras. So this to me is a self-development deck, and I find this a great one to use for the self-development, as well as self-reflection and stuff. Yeah. So another thing that you'll find it like with the power of journaling, and I am gonna give you like an example of my reading and what I picked up. So if you're interested in that, you can hang about and I will do that. Yeah. Another one is patterns that you hold, that's holding you back. Not always we see the patterns. Get the reading done. It's like, yeah. That's good. That's cool. But then we go on about our business and then we think, well, nothing's changed, or that hasn't happened, or, the 3, for me, is the patterns that we hold. And that can really change the dynamics on how you handle certain situations in your life, the self-development, what we learn from ourselves, and how you can practice that. Another thing that I find is amazing is goal setting. So once you've done all your writing, your experiences, your emotions, you can put a plan into place. What is your next steps? What is it that you want to build on or work on? Yeah. It just helps with like giving you structure, because I know if you're anything like me, there's times in life that we get lost. We don't know what to do. We lose our power. Maybe it's from, broken relationships or, just general stresses of life. And it can really, we can have a wobble, can't we? And it can send you like in a spiral sense. So the power of journaling, if you're up for it, is a good way of seeing your progress, but also putting some settings. So this is going to be the next stage that I'm going to give you. So we're going to talk about the cards and what I picked up. I'm not going to give you all my information in my journal because that's quite private, but I'm going to give you key points so you can get the idea from it. So the first thing that I do is when I've got my cards in tow, and after I've done my video and looking back, right? So then I look at the cards on a whole, and I look at what emotion did it bring it up for me. Okay, so how does it relate to my life now? How is it relating? What is those cards relating to me right now? So I will say, because I've already explained that in the first video, is it's relating to my health issues. So I've been having having problems, with fatigue and all that lot, and I'm really struggling to find structure in my life. Yeah. So that's what I would write, what I've written down, so, and then the next phase then, I look at the card. So I will go on to the Chariot card. So here's the Chariot card and what it, thinks. So I looked a bit deeper. I go into the book, and don't be afraid to look into the guidebook or just Google it. Google if what that card could represent, right? And I pick out elements of like key words that feels relation to me. So the keywords that I pick was starting over, staying open, right? Starting over. So I'm having to start over. So I'm having to rebuild myself back up, So since January, I've been having a lot of flare-ups, and I've been struggling, to maintain my energy and stuff. So this, so that key point, and staying open to the possibilities of a new direction to go on into. Okay. So I end up doing a bit, we were talking about holding space. So in the video, I was still talking about holding space, where I can hold space and sit with myself. So I done a journal prompt. What does holding your space feel like for you right now? So I've been putting boundaries in. So I've had to put boundaries in, not just with myself, but in my relationships with family and friends, and YouTube, home, so I've had to minimize everything back, so say take some steps back, because I can't give from an empty cup. So although the world is going on around me, and it's still ticking over, I had to put some self-control in myself and know when to say no. So that would be the first card, okay? Right? So, the next one was, so we're talking about boundaries and how the pressures of life, okay? doing things in moderation. So I've had to, so I'm finding a target of like, I need to do things in moderation, which can leave guilt, and you can feel shameful with that, because you have your heart set on, you don't want to come across like that that you don't want to be present with people. You don't want it to be that you're limiting your time on things. I love doing YouTube. I love doing the videos and stuff like that. And I love coming lives, but I've had to limit all that down. Don't want to. Trust me, I don't want to. But it's something I have to do because I need to fill my own cup. So, doing things in moderation. Energy goes what's important at the time. That seems to be helping. It's speaking out. I've also had to speak out. So this experience is helping me to speak out and taking control of my emotions and, where I'm putting the boundaries in, but also making it clear and clear to other people that this is the stage I'm at this present. This is where I am at the moment. I can't give you what I would like to give you right now. I got to focus on me right now. And that was the steps that I needed to take. And if you've seen my post, that was what I said. This is where I'm at. I'm going to be clear on what's going on. So kudos to me. So that was Eric saying, that I'm on the right track of taking control and, elements, right? But with, so I kind of wrote all this down, but now, because it's on paper, it don't feel so overwhelming, or I don't feel so guilty. I don't feel so like, oh, actually, this is good. This is good, Kerry. This is good move. So I've got some clarification to say that I'm on the right track in what I'm doing. So thumbs up to me, right? You can see what I'm doing, yeah. Right, okay, so if you're still with me, fantastic, fam-dubby-doozy. Well, the 5 of Pentacles came up, right? So I'd done some reflecting. Same thing, I picked out, so what I'm outgrowing, so things I'm outgrowing, alienation and illness and taking time. So illness and taking time was really relevant to me because obviously it's my ill health that stops me doing what I want to do, right? Which leads me into feeling I'm going backwards in life, okay? And it also, it was like, it's a common thing for someone with chronic illnesses, mental health, anything on them lines, a feeling that they're out of pocket. Fatigue, I haven't got the energy to give, so I got to minimize it down, hence why little videos or not so much, but it's quite a common, and it's been, when I went through my phase of like when I had this chronic illness, I was grieving through my past past life, because I was quite active person, I was always out on the go and all that lot. So you lose your confidence. Your self-limited beliefs in what you can and can't do. So the 5 of Pentacles represents to me the fear of going backwards, the fear of like that self-doubt that I ain't going to get better now, that this is my life now, this is my lifestyle. It's not true. It's not true. To my future self and to you guys, if you're feeling this way as well, okay, because it's not true. It's just where the place that we are at the moment. And with the 5 of Pentacles, usually there's solitude, there's help, there's support out there, right? That can help. So it's it's building up, yeah. And what came up afterwards, I could see that. I could see, I overcome a great deal over the years. I mean, since this illness and well, just in general life, really, we all go through trivials and things in life. I know more than I did back then in the past. I was going with blindfolded. Now I understand my condition to a level. I understand that I have to relax. So there's no guilt or shame in it. Okay, so it's like kind of revisiting and reminding myself that I've done it once before, I can do it again. And that's the same with you. If you've done it once, you can do it again. You know, all the things that I've gone through, breakups, relationships, fears of losing homes, you know, my mess ups in life and stuff, I'm still here to tell the tale, and so are you. So congratulations, you are enough, you know, and that's the key point of it. I know how to support myself. And where the past, it was new to me, I was grieving my old life, which I've just said that, yeah. It's key points. I need these, right? So that was the card 2. So now I'm starting to feel more confident. So when I was like first doing the reading, well, I did actually, this was an unexpected message from my guide. Yeah, I didn't expect this message, but it's bringing up emotions and stuff that I was fearing. You know, I didn't want to let you guys down. You know, I really enjoy doing the videos. I know there's not many people that do watch these videos, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, I know the people that watch it, you know, is going to get something from it. So yeah. So the next card we're going to go into is the 3 of Wands. Now, the 3 of Wands came up for me as preparation and planning. Again, it illustrated what I'm doing. So it was reminding me of where I'm at the moment. This is kind of like, it's just like a kick up the butt. So say you're doing all you can, right? So I'll explain. So the future is my own, yeah? Preparation and planning. So what is it that we can do? What is it that we can create, make, and use of this time, right? So I've been doing so when I haven't had the energy to do videos, I've been doing my OBS, trying to learn that. I've been structuring scripts. I've been creating new spreads, you know. I've been doing self-reflection. I've been making little cards, which you will see in the future. You know, not like, but for spreads and stuff like that. So I've been doing these little things, you know, that gives me pleasure and joy, right? So I'm breaking down the steps, I'm breaking down. Like I said, I've took a big, massive step back. I've said to people, I can't give you what I can't give you at the moment. So I can only focus on work, family, and home right now. That's all I can focus on and try and build myself back up. And obviously, you know, my little things that I love to do that keeps me going through, the week. And I also, because I've done a 7-step program. When I was doing what's it called? Backpack. It's in the UK. It's from the NHS, you know, when you go and you get support and stuff like that. So 7 steps I'm doing 7 steps. 7 steps guide. It means I do a little and often build up routine. So I do a little bit and often, because I can get really too hyper focused and end up spending like 4 or 5 hours on one project, end up exhausting myself, and then end up that everything else goes down the pan. Right? So that's a no. So I created these 7 steps, and sometimes I still can go backwards with it. I can still go backwards with it. But the first one is rest and relax. So I need to, if I feel I need to rest and relax, that's what I got to do. And if that's got to be all day, then that's how it is. You know, work is my priority, right? So I work as a support worker. So I need to, I got to make sure, and it's long hours. So I got to make sure that's my priority. And rest is in between that, right? Movement is so important, especially for bad backs, and the fibromyalgia I have, and if I'm staying in one place, it can have a knock-on effect. Okay. Plus, also, if I don't keep active, you lose the power of your muscles, so it could end up I'll end up in more pain. So I got to try and find ways, even if it's just getting up and moving around and pottering and stuff. Prioritizing. So I'm prioritizing my time. Now I've got timers on my phone. So if I'm in a project or I'm doing behind the scenes stuff, I set a timer, for how long I can, do on that. And that, then I'll have to stop, either take a break or do something else, which would be potter around the home. So I'm keeping my space maintained. As for help, I ask for help. I ask for help from my daughters. If things get a bit too overwhelming or too much, my daughters will come up and give a deep clean, because I can't bend, or I struggle with moving stuff. My son will do bits and pieces too. So it's you ask, or my son-in-law, he comes up and helps too. So I ask for help, what I physically can't do myself, or if, like I said, I'm struggling. Gentle stretching, which was the movement side. Staying home. How many times do we not book ourselves home? We book all these schedules of appointments and that. I book home time, right? Home time. Even prioritize that in my schedule to say that I can't do anything that day. And prioritizing is usually home routine. So that's when I do my videos and things like that. So I'm still doing stuff, but it's it's not, and having fun. How many times do we forget having fun? It does, So again, this is reminding me, that my preparation and planning and what I'm doing, I've already got the skills there. And while I'm still at a pause, I can still do these aspects here, and, use those skills up. And I'll know when I'm ready to make the next move, where I reach out to friends, where maybe I can do a live or whatever. I'll know when it would be time to do that. But in the meantime, I just got to take things steady and know my place, which is interesting, right? Because the next part was it's looking for the small wins, reminding ourselves of the small wins. We always note down the to-do lists of what we need to do, but not what we've done. So those little reminders in my book and stuff is actually I did do stuff. So it lessens the guilt then, doesn't it? And the shame. I know, this might not be relevant to you, but this is a personal. I'm just showing you what you could get from journaling, your reading, and how you can plan and preparate yourself for it. So yeah, checking out, I can micromanage things, so I've also now starting to do a check-in with my energy levels, and I actually put down what I do. So my energy levels between 1 and 5, 1 low, 5 high. So the chronic pain, when I'm in my chronic pain, and my energy levels. And then I'm writing down what I do and how I feel that day. How's my emotions that day? Was I more active that day? All those kind of things. I'm doing a check-in. which is helping because I'm seeing where my energy goes and what I need to pull back on and think, oh, hang on a minute, that didn't quite work that well. I mean, this is an ongoing thing because, I'm dealing with chronic pain, but you can see like the structure that's happening. Okay. Then we had the last card, which was like, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I'm learning as I go, This is teaching me about balancing my home, balancing my life, my lifestyle, my life skills, So my limitations now will teach me how to balance things in life. So I can create something better for myself, a structure for myself. So what come from a message of Eric, my spirit guide, came to show me that the present stage I'm at is where I'm meant to be right now, whether I like it or not. Right? But this spread really was lovely. I really enjoyed it. It was a simple spread. It wasn't like OTT over the top. It was just, but look how much I got out of that. So even just one card, you could get like a structure there as well. When I was like talking to my guide, like, come on, Eric, what's the message today? It was like seeing a whole friend. It felt like my cards knew me, I could relate to them. I could connect to them. And I found the practice of doing the journaling, it just illustrated that I'm doing everything I can. I've put everything in place that I could possibly can. So I just got to go with it at the moment, and that could sort of like, sometimes you just need, it's not necessarily, you can think, oh yeah, well, what I've done, actually, I'm doing it the best I can in this position. I have no control of others and how others view me. I have no control of any of that. But all I got to do is stay in my lane, stay in my box, and just make sure that I'm putting all these things into practice and just keep reviewing this stage, So thank you, Eric, and thank you for the ones that's watching. And I did do a boo-boo, as Kerry does, right? Because, the practice of like open prayer and closing, and I forgot to close down, didn't I? I got so excited with the messages. It's like, oh my God, that I forgot to do it. See, so we can all forget it, but it is important when you're doing journaling, when you're doing tarot and speaking to your guides, or like, that kind of practice. It's good to have an open open thing. Some people do it differently. I mean, I've got my bells and all that lot, so it depending on my mood. I like to do prayers. I mean, you don't generally see that, but it's a new thing because I thought, I wanted to share that with you guys to show you sort of kind of what I do. That is, it's not just laying the cards. I actually have a little routine that I do before I start and give those readings to you. Any questions, just ask in the descriptions box. I am not knowing at all, right? This is where I'm at the moment, but I'll do my best to answer the best I can. And I think if you do get a reading, take your notebook, ask if you can record. And then maybe, have whatever key points they've pointed out and it is relevant to you, build a structure of like how that made you feel, and, and put all your thoughts down there. Journal prompts is great, for bringing out stuff, and it does help. I think it has, I would say, if you're wanting to learn about the cards, if you are interested in learning about the cards, journaling is one of the best ways to do it. Getting that connection with the cards and stuff. Out of all of it, I think it's one of the key things that I've learned more about myself from journaling than I have gone just doing workshops and just doing readings. You know, I try to cultivate it all together. So if I've done a workshop, I'll journal about it, my experience, what I felt, blah, 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 you know. So it's kind of like, it's helping you see your progress too and where you are at your progress. So if you're in, you know, if you think, you know, and I know it can benefit people loads, you know. So I ain't no doctor. I ain't no, you know, I'm just showing you a different way of like getting the more out of your readings, and yeah, getting more out of your readings. So rather than just leaving it to fate, take some initiative, take your power back a bit, and use those tools to gain insight and help with your self-development, and also help you progress in your life. I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have enjoyed it. I really wanted to share these points. I thought it was really important too. And I thought, what better way? Because I did a recording, and I usually do recordings of my videos. Excuse me. I do videos recording, so, and then I do a reflection like later on and see how I do, and yeah. Everybody's different how they do it, but I wanted, you know, I thinking, shall I share? Yeah, actually I will, and I will talk about this because I feel like for you viewers, I think it would benefit you, you know, especially if you're into your self-development and wanting to see patterns and you like your shadow working and all that lot, and you're not really sure on how to journal with tarot or oracle cards and that, whatever tools you use, I think you will find you'll get the benefits out of it, you know. And you just need key points. You need key words, and you think, right, that those key words are standing out to me. So how can I govern that? How can I work through that? What am I doing right now? Which I've just said, I was just saying my progress, right? So I will probably do another reflection, not tarot related. I would probably do another I'll leave space. I'll hold space, a blank page in my journal to go back to my progress for the month of August, you know, and write that down as well. And I'll write down what worked, what didn't work, and where to go from here. So yeah, I rabbited again. I'm rabbiting, ain't I? Anyway, I'm going to send lots of love, and I will see you on the other side. Take care. Have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Missing all those ones that comes onto my lives too. And thank you for your support, your comments. Really appreciate it. Just want you to know that I'm, I am grateful. So yeah, sending lots of love. Bye for now.